Hello. Hmm. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here speaking my mind. I have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about, but I'm just going to talk about a little bit. Our attention span is dwindling. Uh, I was just thinking about, um, I just wanted to say my condolences to Malcolm. Um, I can't think of his last name right now. That was on the Cosby Show. Um, it was a long running show. I remember when it came out, and it was a big thing because that was kind of like the first time they had such a successful black family on television. Okay, and so that was a wonderful thing. I'm sure he was proud to be a part of that. And I'm just thinking, all these drownings lately that's been in the news, and especially black people. What is going on? Are we um, being careless, reckless, too much, or we doing too much to get likes? Some of it is um, heroic. It was some that did uh, die from trying to save someone, and even my cousin's son, my second cousin, I guess, he died from drowning about 3 years ago. It was, and he was only 21. And it's always seemed like the same thing. It's this the current took him away. We've heard about the 10-year-old, and because I know it's dangerous. That water is dangerous. Because I remember I went out. This was years and years and years and years and years ago. I was in this lake, and I was walking because I wasn't going too far. Okay, even though I know how to swim, I still was somewhat scared of water. And I was just walking, and then all of a sudden, I just dropped down. I was like, what the heck? They call them drop offs. And I have not been in no lake. No, no, no. That scared me to no end. I still think about that because it was just surprising how you just dropped down and um, I was able to come back. But it was just and then hearing about Malcolm drowning in over there in Costa Rica. Oh, we're not talking enough about it. They'll make some shorts, some videos, and that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's it. And I was just thinking about the flood in the Bible, um, because all these floods that's going on, because they had a map up talking about all these floods warnings in the United States thus far, and it's been a lot of them because it's been flood warnings where I live, and it's been raining practically every day. So it just got me thinking, and I was thinking about that very notable, famous flood in the Bible, and If you read about it, you'll see that, it was 8 souls that was saved, and the rest murdered. That's how I look at it. Because after the flood, Jehovah, I should have found that scripture, where he talks about man's heart is bad from start to finish, pretty much. Oops. Hi, Clarissa. How you doing? Nice to see you here. And so these thousands that lost their life was just murdered for nothing. Because as soon as the water receded and they went on their merry way, they sinned again. What was the point? Well, why I'm talking about this is, and you know what the first sin was? Noah getting drunk and his kids seeing him naked, and then he gonna curse them. So, and a lot of people believe this. A lot of people live their life believing this. And they look at it and they really believe that what Jesus said about the flood in the Bible. And like I was saying before, I have this Bible. It's a 1611 James Bible, and in it, the letters are red. Jesus' words are red, and it has the ye and thou in it. And a lot of people are really. I've heard plenty of people say we're living in the last days. Um, you will hear a lot of Christians saying Jesus is coming back, but then again, you have the Jews saying Jesus ain't came here yet. So, which one is it? How? Hello, nice to see you. Well, not see you, but I'm glad you're here. Boy, this internet has really changed our way of talking. You see somebody, but you don't see them, but you see that they here somewhere. Oh, okay. And it's confusing. That's why these preachers, and they don't want you asking them too many questions, because they will be hard. It will be hard for them to give you a answer without putting themselves in a pretzel, trying to explain this stuff, because I just want to read what Jesus said about the flood in Matthew 24:37. He said, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as the days there that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken and the other left. Watch For ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in which watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in that day, whom he looketh not for him, and in that hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites, where shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And also, I read this too in Luke 17:34. I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. Two women shall be grinding together. One shall be taken, and the other left. Two men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken, and the other left. And they answered and said unto him, Where, Lord? And he said unto them, Wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagles be gathered together. So this is what's in the Bible. Remember what he said, two men would be in the bed and two women would be out grinding. And then two men shall be in the field. So this is what a lot of people are saying, because he also up here talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, how it rained down sulfur and destroyed that place. And I'm just saying that even though a lot of us don't believe all of this, but it gives us an indication that wrongdoing has to be punished. And we don't know, because we're only human. But we do have a spiritual side that can, some of us let that spiritual side tell us what's going on. And I know a lot of people wonder, when is this travesty going to end? When are people going to be able to live a decent, happy life? You know, the Jehovah's Witness say you're going to have a paradise on earth. A lot of people say that. A lot of people want to say they're going to heaven to live with God. But what I realize, that it's up to man change their ways. And to bring back salvation, bring back civilization, to bring back civility. Because this God of the Bible, it's too many oops. You know, you have the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. But then all through the Bible, this God of the Bible is killing people. And nothing's getting better for us. When is it going to end? It's going to end when the rightful owner, the rightful destiny, because it's destined to happen. It must happen. The world been around for how long? We don't know. We have no idea how long the world been around. We don't have no idea how long mankind been on the earth or all creation. Now you can think about this. Try not to let your brain explode. Who made the earth? It says God had no beginning and no end. Can you imagine no beginning? How do you have no beginning? It's hard for us to imagine that because we had a beginning. The earth was here before we got here. And the earth is still here after we're gone. We have proof. We have people who was here before us, thousands of years before us. But we are living proof that you have a beginning and you have an end. Or do we? Now, here in Jesus tells us what happened to the bodies of all those who died in the flood. Where it says, where it said here in Luke 17, it says, wheresoever the body is, there the eagles be gathered together. That was a lot. How long did it take for those birds to eat all those bodies? That's something to think about. And we look at man, the way they have killed people over the years, dropping atomic bombs on people, killing hundreds, thousands of people at one time, and then all through the wars. And this is something too that Jesus said here in chapter 24. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. Now, this is just one of the translations. Now, over history, we have come to know who King James was, what kind of man he was, and we have had proof that a lot of these people in the Bible, it's hard to find any proof that they was even here. But these words rang true because we have been hearing about this really since 1914. Now, there's been war as far back as we can remember. The Crusade War, it lasted over 10 years, so it's been wars. And, but a lot of people are getting smarter. We have computers that are getting smarter. And we're not listening. We're not taking heed to what's going on. Because the truth is being revealed, but we're not listening. We're not paying attention. Because you have disciples that are out here distracting us so much that is causing us to lose our life needlessly. These young ones should not be dying the way they are being slaughtered and reckless lives. It's reckless. I made a video about these young ones that was caught stealing. They are going to try to outrun the police and wind up driving into a lake and drowning. They said the police just stood around and watched them drown. But you just stealing, unless it was something else that they were scared of. But you are just stealing. That ain't nothing but a 6 months probation. And you are willing to lose your life over that? And the things that are people doing to get likes and get subscribers. And every day, all we hear about is killing and death and destruction and all this. That is disciples of distraction. And another one is we all are on this emotional roller coaster. It's really bad. But I tell you, when the black woman is back on her throne, and the light will shine on all this distraction. All the disciples of the distraction will be revealed, and the propaganda is going to be thrown out, and the truth is going to be told. Now, I remember that scripture where, um, see, when Jesus was about to be killed, they asked King Herod, King somebody, what is truth? The truth is proven visions. Truth, truthful visions that all that have eyes, all that have feelings will see. It's because, for one thing, right now, your truth may not be my truth. And that's because we are living under the disciples of deception, distraction. So until they are obliterated, so what we have to do is start getting ourselves prepared for the retaking of the throne. And how we do that? Connect, um, stop bad habits, because they love to keep. That's why. Don't you see? Realize the first sin that was done after the flood was Noah getting drunk. Well, that's what it says in the Bible. And then you had Jesus turn water to wine, and it even says they call it spirits. When you are under any kind of altered drug or alcohol, you are under spirits that are that leads to actions, because your brain is under these spirits. Because where do wine come from? It comes from the earth. It's made from earthly stuff, like fruit, uh, berries or cherries or whatever they make the wine from. And it's hard to explain, because the brain, it's it would never be really fully explained how the brain works. That's why we have to keep it free from all um, mind altering drugs, because you know it's something going on when you could actually do something under the influence and then don't remember doing it. Unless somebody show it to you on film, you would never ever believe you did it, because you cannot recollect you doing it. And also, we have to be aware of what's going on. And we have to forgive and forget. I say it all the time that the black people over here, they always want to keep bringing up racism. They always want to keep bringing up slavery and all this stuff. And we need to face it. We we really need to start being who we are, and that's brand new because we don't know who we are. We really don't. We're not African. Okay, everybody came from Africa, and life started in Africa. We are, but we came over here lost. We don't know who we are. And when we first was emancipated, I mean, when the proclamation emancipation came and we were set free, they say, we messed up when we began to be assimilated and try to be something that we're not. We should have been brand new. We try to be Americans, but we're not Americans. You know who's Americans? White immigrants are Americans. Well, anyway, um, we need to be brand new. I'm going to talk more about that. And we have to forgive ourselves. And we have to forget and go forward and take on a new light, a new beginning. And we have to continue to be educated. And with that, we have to listen to our calling because it's time for us to be put in roles in government, in education, law enforcement, security, and to start building our own infrastructure, our own manufacturing, our own trade. It's really time for us to become who we were meant to be due to the circumstances that were thrown on us. And we need to find somebody to listen to and stop listening to all this propaganda and these disciples of distraction. Because as we all should know by history, they're going to do what they do. But we have to do what we have to do. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to talk some more. I know I talked about a lot, and it's a lot of this stuff is hard for me to really put into words because we are talking spiritual stuff and humankind stuff. We have to realize we are humans. We are humankinds. We Everything has been created And we all are creatures. And there is a master plan, and that there is, I call it the Great Spirit, because I want to speak on what I know. What other people may know something different, that's them. But we're going to have to do this for our babies, because they are the future. It's 2025. Can you imagine what it's going to be in 2125? Can you imagine? The 22nd, and most of us breathing right now will not see the 22nd century. But of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Just like that scripture that says, I wish I know I wasn't even going to think of this one, but it says, only alive, only the ones living will know that they will die. Because once you're dead, you don't know nothing. So why are we acting like we don't know nothing? Why are these people out here still doing the stuff they're doing? I read something this morning and it shook my whole soul, that people could treat other people that way. I mean, you think we got it bad now? Read some history books. Not only did black people not the only one that was treated like dirt. People been treated like all people been treated like dirt, and worse than the next one, all through centuries. It has to stop. We was not born to be treated that way. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.